Um, I think we're live. Chat. Thank
Hey guys,
you.
it's me and Rap. Welcome to the stream. We're gonna get right into it. There's a lot to fucking talk about. You guys know the usual rigmarole. Like, share, subscribe, join the channel. I don't know what the fucking price is at this point. I'm not on the streams that often anymore because of work. Super chats also help the channel financially. Be sure to share it. Send it to your fucking mom, your dad, your pets, whatever. Let's get right into it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so we have a lot to talk about today. A lot of stuff happened last night, and there was a lot of cycles of dooming, and then it was
You
very
too, by the way. I want to let you guys know he was dooming hardcore in our chat last night. And he was like, "Oh, it's over." And then literally 10 minutes later, the news broke about Walz and Frey having local and state authorities cooperate. And he was like, "Oh, we're so back." Like, shut up. You were just dooming 10 minutes ago.
yeah. So we got to talk about. Listen, history was made yesterday because that might have been the quickest like it's over to we're back cycle I've ever seen. Like not just for me, but just on Twitter. It went from oh it's all over like the Trump admin they're gonna pull out of Minnesota to oh we're seeing a Minneapolis police beat the shit out of protesters.
Yeah, they're not pulling out of Minneapolis. It's like I told you last night. It's the same sustained operation that ICE has been. Look, ICE and Border Patrol have focused almost exclusively on criminal offenders, and we're still seeing record removals. Imagine what happens when the deport everybody crowd takes control within ICE.
Yeah, and
Just saying.
that's what's happening with let's cut the crap. Chrissy Noem is basically forced out without being fired. That's what happened
Yeah,
last night.
Noam needs to go. I actually Fetterman Fetterman said that she needs to go because she's not. Weirdly enough, Fetterman of all people is out on record saying Christine Noem is not effective enough. Mass deportations are not currently effective enough for the American population. We have Democratic senators coming out in favor of removing Noem because she's not enabling enough fucking deportations.
Yeah, not effective. That's a funny thing. It's like Fetterman gets it. You know he's trying to save his own ass, but like he gets it. He understands that. Oh, people are upset with Noam because you look at some of the stuff going on in Minnesota. And listen, I think she's done an okay job beforehand, but something happened in the middle of last year, and ever since then, it's just been a slow
All I'm
downward
saying,
spiral.
Rollins. The only female in the cabinet that's done well is fucking Gabbard.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard's been the best part, like one of the best parts of the admin, and she's been sidelined also, which is just stupid. But American Nerd for two. Why is Trump caving to walls and pulling back in Minnesota? Okay, so I would explain this. All right, Tyrone, let me explain this. So it's not people are kind of misleading this on this front. I was misled too about it. People make it sound like every age is being pulled out. No, not the core agents that were there to deport people. It's the Border Patrol. It's the people that were there to support ICE agents. Because for those that don't know, Trump surged these Border Patrol agents to Minneapolis. That's not their job, but like it's because ICE agents were not getting any support from local law enforcement. So now we are allegedly getting local law enforcement to work with the admin on some operations. Therefore, what's the point of having Border Patrol there then? Seriously, what's the point of having them there? I mean, Tyron, what's the radius you said? Like they're effective at?
Border Patrol is only under normal circumstances allowed to operate within 100 miles of any United States
That's what I
land
thought.
border.
Yeah.
Minneapolis, St. Paul is 300 miles away. They were there under special circumstances. They were not there to be a permanent fixture, and Trump used that to his Trump used that to his advantage.
Yeah, and the Border Patrol is never the main ones deporting people. Like they were there to support ICE agents because, well, when you have law enforcement not doing anything, you have these crowds and agitators show up, they're harassing people. It becomes a shit show. That's what happened. But now we're slowly pulling back the Border Patrol because we don't need them now. They're more effective and in like Los Angeles or whatever, San Diego. Because I think they sent Bovino to LA. I think so, right?
Yeah.
It was something like that, yeah. So yeah, it's not as like there are some questions still because you know it's Trump. He says some stuff, but guys, Trump says this every time. It's like, oh, we're only after the criminal aliens, and then 5 minutes later they do another work site raid. But yeah, it's just Trump saying some weird stuff. It's what he usually says, anyways. Inari for 2. Walls' career is kaput anyways, so no loss to him. Well, I have a theory about why Walls bent the knee, and I'll explain that a little bit.
Well, it's
American,
because we found out who his financiers were.
yeah,
Trump openly threatened and said, "Hey, we know where the money's coming from." That's what it is. That's what it is.
yeah, and I'll explain that more a little bit because I have some more insight on that. American Nerd for 2. I feel like Noam is going to use DHS for a 2028 run. No, she's not. She's not running for president. That's just not going to happen. If she gets fired, no. Well, I don't think she's going to get fired. She's just going to be. She was never supposed to actually run DHS. She was always supposed to be a figurehead. You know, kind of like shit. I'm trying to think of a couple. There's a couple people in the cabinet. They're kind of just there to be a figurehead. But it was always supposed to be Miller and Homan's show, but something happened in the middle of last year. They were kind of sidelined, but now Trump is putting back Homan and Miller. So, American Nerd for 2. I don't trust Minnesota authorities as they're under walls. Well, I'll show the video of what happened last night in, I think it was Maple Grove, right? I think it was Maple Grove, Minnesota. Something beautiful happened. In my opinion, the imagery from this riot, or what was going to be a riot, is going to live in like lore on the right. So Mike Finn for 2. Hey, Luke said last stream we need to withdraw. Well, I understand what Luke is saying. Like, hey, maybe some
I like
operation.
Luke, but I'm sorry, he's very left leaning compared to a lot of us in
Oh
ways
yeah,
that are not necessarily productive. I will criticize him for it on stream because I have nothing to fear. This is the one thing. This is the one thing the Trump admin needs to be doubling down on:
yeah.
immigration, handling insurgent. This is what it is. It's not. It's not.
It's an
It's not.
insurgency.
It's an insurgency. We literally have the lieutenant governor and the attorney general's friends caught red-handed being admins in these signal group chats. I've retweeted it. I'm pretty sure others have seen it. There was a post being circled around by a chief warrant officer, a retired chief warrant officer with special forces. The shit that the left is doing right now, being funded and organized by the state with the institutional power, this is literally the counterintelligence shit we spent 20 plus years learning from the lessons in the Great War on Terror.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, we leftists have imported literal insurgency tactics learned from the Taliban and Iraq and other groups into our own fucking backyard.
all right. Mike, ready. Man, Milk for 5. New York City has a bigger budget than Florida as a state, yet it has 1/4 the population and runs a $3 billion deficit, while Florida has a $4 billion surplus. Fiscal conservative W. Well, it just Florida's just that's Florida. They don't piss around that stuff down there. New York City though, they're screwed. But Richard Head for 2. So Wisconsin next and Michigan for deportations. Yeah, it sounds like it's to be Wisconsin next and Michigan. So we'll see what happens. G Phaser for 5. Everyone on the Fed side was unprepared, overwhelmed by how organized the commie left were. Leaving it emboldens them and proves their model works. Well, yeah, we knew there was a problem, but we didn't think they were actually the lieutenant governor was actually these chats. She was. The lieutenant governor was in the chat. The Walz's top advisors in these chats, and not just random people. They were running them. And I'm starting to wonder, did Trump threaten Walz with stuff 2 nights ago? I'm starting to wonder.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because Cash Patel,
money's coming from. He knows. Walz has been on the admin's radar since before the fucking debates.
Yeah.
And then he got utterly fucking embarrassed by Vance. And then Minnesota has been a fixture. Minnesota has been the liberal stronghold of the United States for literally over. Okay, so it was 72, right?
Yeah, that's the last time Republicans won it. Nixon.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been 50 fucking years. It's time to crack that jit open.
K Cub for 5. People I know in Minnesota are losing it. They legit think ICE is grabbing anyone, and they think that they need to plan travel tactics. Just avoid where ICE is. I have an idea. Don't interfere in operations. Wow. Tyrone, is this such a hot take?
I don't know what the fuck retard goes, I'm gonna pick up a fucking grenade, I'm gonna pick up a live grenade and I'm gonna try to throw it back. Get your fucking ass back to Call of Duty. That's not how that shit works.
Yeah. And did she blow up her hand or something?
She did,
What
yes.
a dumb shit. I mean, like,
She blew
what
3 of her own fingers off.
the imagery of yesterday, I'm telling you right now, this is gonna live in right wing lore in a long time. Because let me explain what happened. So yesterday, Trump and Walz, they made an agreement. Trump's gonna pull back some border patrol agents, return law enforcement gotta get off their ass and do something. And they did something last night. Not just a tiny, oh, they stood there and did nothing. No. So what happened is there was a hotel where border patrol agents were at. We can confirm that now based on the videos. And they were, of course, causing sounds. They were beating up freaking God knows what. And then the police officers and the sheriffs began to pull up. And after like 10 minutes, they gave them the warning to leave. And after that, they beat the living shit out of them. Like they just straight up like they beat the shit out of the protesters. And now, Tyrone, you see how people reacted to that? They're cheering
Yep.
on Walz already and Frey.
Yep.
So that's what Trump got out of this. It's like we pull back border patrol. Now Walz and Frey, they have to deal with the backlash because it's their law enforcement beating the shit out of protesters. So yeah, that's what happened last night. Again, it's Maple Grove, I think. It's a suburb of Minneapolis, so it's right there. But yeah, they just beat the shit out of them. And I want to pull up the imagery right here because as this was happening, and Tyrone, did you see the images of the ICE agents in the hotel? Did you see
I
this?
did, yes, they were literally beating them, it's glorious.
Yeah, so this is an image of the first one. They're just drinking beers. All right. They're watching from one of the windows, laughing their ass off, just drinking beers. Okay. They're chilling. When I first saw this, I knew we won. We won. The fact they're just chilling up there, just drinking beers, but really, the greatest thing that happened last night was one of the ICE agents. He mooned the crowd. He straight up mooned the crowd. I got the video right here. Look at this. So, Tyrone, what's your thoughts on Minneapolis?
Give me 1 second, I gotta get my Whataburger out. Give me 1 second.
Oh, that's fine. But yeah, guys, this is real imagery of Minneapolis. As the protesters were getting the shit kicked out of them, and like 12 of them got arrested. Yeah. Yeah, we just straight up had one of our ICE agents moon these people. Yeah, this actually happened. So yeah. It is amazing. American Nerd for 2 is this a W? I still don't like agents leaving. Well, again, if it was we got nothing out of it and a border patrol left, that's bad. That's a bad deal. But the fact we're able to do this and we have their police officers being the shut up protesters.
It's a fucking fantastic thing. We can
Yeah.
remove border patrol agents from moving their fucking jobs. They were not supposed to be there to begin with. They have to stay on the border. They have to go to the other states. I don't know if y'all saw, Phoenix just had a massive fucking raid last night.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
it's
it's in fact a good thing when state and local law enforcement the law enforcement officers are doing their job instead of us having to divert federal law enforcement resources to do the job that they're supposed to do. Yes, it's a good thing. I don't understand. What's difficult to understand about this?
yeah. It just because people like again, I understand like people are concerned we're pulling back agents, but when you got to read the between the lines and see the fact that oh wait, we don't take any of the negative press now when they beat up protesters. Now it's the police officers of Minneapolis. That's on Frey and Walz. So all right, American Nerd for 2. So is this a W? I still don't like the agents leaving. Yes, at the end of the day, I think it's a W. I think overall it is a W. Again, we got to see some stuff because this administration they do once in a while do some weird stuff, but on this front, I don't see the problem. If we're really getting border patrol out of here in return, we get I forgot how many I wonder how many law enforcement people they got in Minneapolis or Minnesota.
I mean, they've probably deployed most state forces, if I had to imagine.
Yeah, it's got to be at least like in the statewide, it has to be like 10,000 or something like peace officers. Or
Again, removing agents who are not supposed to be there to begin with, and we're operating under special directives and getting them replaced. by the dudes who were supposed to be doing the job in the fucking first place is a good thing.
Yeah.
Trump is winning. He is enforcing his rule, his way.
All right. Object claims candidate for 5. Now the left is turning on them. Now bigger, less likely to fight Trump and help the protesters. Huge W. Relocate them to Wisconsin, Michigan. I think that's a plan. They're going to just move to the Rust Belt after this. So, Animal Girl balls the. Oh gosh, they're in the rest of that.
What the fuck did I just hear?
Oh geez, for 27 Swedish bucks. Walz a true viceroy of the emperor, a patriot. Lol, that's real. Inari for 5. I was born in Minnesota, live in California. Nothing ever happens there. Finally, Minnesota got some action. Yeah. Viper for 2. The moon seen around the world. Yeah, I laughed my ass off when I saw those images. They're just chilling. They don't have to do anything. They can finally relax while the law enforcement beat the shit out of the protesters. And I think they arrested a dozen of them. I think it was a bunch of them got arrested. So good. K Cub for 2. Rap. I bet you lunch we get to defund police again. Oh, it's gonna happen. Watch. Give it a week. When they start beating the shit on more rioters, they're gonna say defund the police again. And that's another reason Trump did this. Make them seem batshit crazy. Go ahead. American Nerd for 2. I wanted more agents to go in, maybe even troops. Well, I think Trump was going to send the troops eventually if Minneapolis did not get their shit together, but I don't know. I'm starting to really wonder, like, the Signal Gate stuff I think was a final, like, nail in the coffin for Walz and Frey and them. Because it proves they were coordinating this shit. They were coordinating a lot of this. I mean, they're admins, these chats, or not Walz himself, but like the lieutenant governor was an admin, his chief of staff or something. Like the top people in the Democrat Party in Minnesota, they were running these chats. And they're organizing how to like stalk ICE agents and report them. And that explains how within minutes of every ICE operation, suddenly 100 people show up. Within a minute, 100 agitators pull up out of nowhere. It's just insane. President Gilbert giddy up for 5. So Tim Walz isn't friends with school shooters now. Yeah.
No, he's friends with ICE shooters.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I am very curious. In the next couple of days, are we going to see like all these people turn on like the police now, not ICE? I'm actually curious because these are the same defund the police people. So we'll see. We shall see what happens on that front. Richard Head for 5. Some point after these deportation surges in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan would be nice. This would cause a GOP surge in enthusiasm in the Rust Belt. Yeah, well, that's another thing I would argue. I mean, these operations are going to help Republicans with enthusiasm a little bit because Democrats already maxed out at this point. They have hit their ceiling. They literally can't go any higher. So, yeah. American Nerd for 2. So it's not just Mike Waltz using Signal, huh? Yeah, well, Signal, a lot of people use. I don't use it, but I know plenty of people use it. But it's just insane what they're finding. There's like 20 group chats in Minneapolis, and they all have thousands of people in them, and they're organizing like specific roles and shit, and they're stalking ICE officers and like running plates illegally. It was crazy what was going on. And the funny thing about this, all it took was like 3 right-wing autistic people to take down the entire operation. So yeah, we can thank autism for winning, right?
Yeah.
Well, seriously, it was 3 like right-wing autists that just discovered, oh, wait a minute. How do these people know where to go and shit? Oh, wait, there's a Signal group chat you can join. And these dumb shits had like no precautions at all. And like they're admitting they went to Cuba and stuff, which is, suspicious, by the way. Why are they talking about fleeing to Cuba? They have connections there to the Cuban government, they're saying. It's just, yeah, it's nuts. K-Cup for 5. Rap. Wisconsin will be interesting because Evers basically said we stand with our neighbors in Minnesota. If he fights this, how does it impact the 26 race? I don't think it really changes much, honestly, but we'll see.
Evers is cooked.
Yeah. Random Polish guy for 5. I got in the chat to record, bruh. They're running so scared talk about running out of standing contacts in Cuba. Yeah. Tyrone, do you see those images, those screenshots of the Cuba thing?
I would like to remind my dear viewers here that I was talking about Cuban connections as far back as Kirk's assassination.
Yeah. I remember I made a whole graph on that, for crying out loud. Because I was able to connect the the Cuban government to one of the groups that like some of the nutcases were involved in. So does Cuba have to do with Kirk's death? Okay, for those that don't know, there was a that Tyler Robinson and his boyfriend or whatever, they were involved in some sketchy organizations. Like what was it called? Like the Armed Queers or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'll try to find the graph, but basically they're directly supported by the Cuban government. I'm not even joking. That's a real thing. Like direct ties to an organization that's funded by the Cuban government. So take that as you will. Yoshi fan Nick for 5. Hey, Rap, if the new Maryland map gets struck down, do they go back to the original map or do they make a new one? I don't know. That whole redistricting thing's a shit show in Maryland. I don't know. But it's Larry Hogan's Supreme Court. So I don't really see them do anything. We'll see. The Cuban thing's super sketchy since Kirk's killer could have ties. Well, yeah, I'm telling you right now, they did. Some of those groups have ties to Cuban government. And you notice they all vanished after Kirk died. Funny how that works. Okay. It's time for some freedom of Havana. Yeah. Well, I think the Cuban government's just going to collapse at this point. Without Venezuela's support, who do they got anymore in the Caribbean or in that region? Do they got a single government backing them in that area? Cuba? I'm serious. I can't think of one in that region at this point. Because Venezuela was their main backer.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Miami will be R plus 40. Yeah. The funny thing of all of this is Republicans are like surging with Hispanics again. Funny how that works. I thought the Venezuelans would have hated Maduro going down. I was reliably informed. Dumb shits. All right. So enough of that. Got any other thoughts about Minnesota?
I mean, that's about it, really.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, I can also confirm that right now, Tim Walz has just met President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan. I am very curious because they're meeting right now. I think Homan met with some agents earlier today. Because he's in Minnesota now. He has taken control of the operation in Minnesota. What's going to happen now that we have Walz basically doing what we say to do? I still think we're kind of blackmailing him. We're just saying, hey, buddy, you want to avoid prison? Yeah, you work with us and let everyone else take the fall. Let all the other like dumbasses in the chat take the fall. Because I can confirm they are investigating the Signalgate stuff. They are investigating that right now. I can say that. So, Yoshi fan Nick for 5. Trump is planning a Cuba collapse by the end of the year. Yeah, we're not going to invade Cuba. We're just going to let them collapse. Just take it. Random Polish guy for 2. When's Cuba, Colombia getting the Ven treatment? The Venezuelan treatment? Didn't the Colombian president literally bend the knee to us? I'm pretty sure he did. Right? I could be wrong. Okay.
Sorry, I just finished eating lunch.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, like Colombia's president bent the knee, so I don't think we're gonna really do much to them. If they would have done Maduro dead, yeah, we would have just kidnapped the president. But I'm pretty sure he just said, "Yeah, fuck this." All right. Will Bonnie start arresting people for signal gain in 2028? I don't know. I can also say they are still investigating the Kirk stuff. I know that's been a couple months, but some of this stuff takes a while. Some of it does take a while.
I would like to remind people, Bannon and Navarro, it took about 2 years for the cases to come against them and get them bagged. We're going to have to wait a while to see charges.
Now, I am seeing reports. People are claiming that the Border Patrol agents in Minnesota say they've been given new orders not to arrest non-criminal illegal immigrants. That's what's the report circulating. Now, this is coming from Nick Sorter, who, listen, I like him, but what he did last night was shitty. For those that don't know, he was the first one to report that Bovino got thrown out when that turned out to be bullshit. And listen, he's usually kind of reliable, but he's claiming that Border Patrol being told not to stand down, basically. He wanted to see what Crowder had said that. Now, I can't confirm that. I can't, but the way it's phrased, if it's just border patrol, they're leaving anyways. So I don't know. Simple logic for 2. Marco Rubio, next Cuban president. Trust the plan. Yeah, it's real. He's getting every job at this point. Is there a job he hasn't gotten yet? Can't think of one.
Again,
Marco Rubio. Like, he's got every job I could think of. I don't think he could get any more. Yeah. But yeah, so Nick sort of confirmed it, or that's what he's claiming. Steven Crowder, again, he's been kind of iffy lately, but I'm hoping this is just them saying, like, okay, Border Patrol's leaving. Because, like, why would you even agree to that part to stand down? And, like, that doesn't make any sense. If they're leaving anyways, who gives a shit?
because those people are stupid. Tim Walz is not very smart.
Yeah. But they're just claiming that we freaking, like, we're telling immigrant agents to stand down, but it's like, when you say Border Patrol, they're leaving. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in the next couple of days what's actually going on here, because I'm starting to wonder if they told some people to just chill out for a second until they talk to Walz, like, in person. Maybe. I don't know. This is a developing situation after all. We don't know for sure. We still don't even know the full details, because we say that some agents are leaving, but then we're told, no, they're not actually leaving. And then 5 minutes later, we're told that they are leaving, maybe not. We'll
There's a
see.
lot of disinformation being
Yeah.
peddled. Go off of what official Trump admin sources tell you, not what fucking Democratic sources tell you. I don't know. Again, I don't know why people feel inclined to listen to Democratic sources when we know Democrats lie out the fucking ass.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
And again, I like
I'm
Nick
looking at
Sorter,
you,
but
Rap.
oh gosh, but like what happened last night with Nick Sorter was stupid. He reported bullshit news. That's what it was. That was horse shit. I think there's a lot of information that's being pushed out that's bullshit. Maybe they're lying about it in the admin and just trying to see who the leakers are. Maybe I know Trump does that sometimes, but still. American Nerd for 2. Shouldn't Castro government be gone with the USSR in the 90s? I mean, that whole thing's gonna collapse anyways without Venezuela. It's just a matter of time. K-Cup for 2. Marco Rubio, new job. Vance family babysitter. That's real. Cameron Fogot for 5. Do you think the self-deportation numbers are accurate? A lot of people seem to think they're massively overinflated. Do you think it's close? Okay, so I want to be clear about this. Like, the current estimates with self-deportations, it comes from the Census Bureau. It comes from a 5-year, it's like a 5-year ACS report or whatever. And let's be clear that in some areas, yes, these are just estimates. These are not perfect one-to-one comparisons for everything. Okay. Now, here's my take on the self-deportation numbers. I think the one of the immigration groups, I'll find it. They wrote a piece on this, and the argument they're making is, even if there is some like overstating over the self-deportations, I think there might be a little bit. Maybe it's not 2.2 million. It's still like at worst, like 1.8 million or whatever. Because they look at the response rate of certain groups. They have not changed since Trump took office. They're not changing this radical 20-point thing. Like, no, it's the same response rates and a lot of other things going into it as well. So I do think self-deportation numbers, they might be inflated a little bit. Let's ask Tyrone. Tyrone, you're part of Border Patrol stuff, or I guess not Border Patrol, but
No, I
I
work with the DHS.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me. I'm at DHS, sorry. But so what's your thoughts on self-deportation numbers? Do you think they're inflated? Do you think they're right?
No, they're pretty accurate.
Like, how do you, like, I'm just curious. Like, is there a way, like, you guys know this? Or
Because we do the numbers ourselves, smiley face.
okay. But you do think overall, like 2.2 million or whatever, that's right?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're correct also, because you don't just have 2 million people just vanish overnight. Like that, again, some estimates might be wrong a little bit, but even the Pew Research, for crying out loud, they did their own estimates like 5 months ago, and they found even back then like 1.5 million people just vanished out of nowhere. They're gone. So and other people looked into it. There's no huge response bias occurring. The rates are staying the same. So I think there might be a little bit of some overstating here and there. But come on, this idea we deported like only 5 people or whatever, no self deportations, that is bullshit. That's complete horseshit. There's been plenty of independent estimates proving the same thing. Might be a little bit lower than 2.2 million, but okay, instead of 2.2 million, it's 1.9 million. Who gives a shit, honestly? Eli for 65. Did you see the article of Rubio hiding on Air Force One to sleep under a blanket because Trump goes around after meetings searching for who is sleeping? I saw that. Yeah, yeah. So like basically, Trump is like he never sleeps, so he just sees somebody else sleeping as like a sign of weakness to him, which is freaking hilarious. But I saw that. Yeah, I did see that. Isn't Border Patrol ICE the same thing? No, people are misunderstanding that. They're not the same thing. Border Patrol deals with the border. It's literally in the name. ICE is interior stuff. So, yeah. Border Patrol is supposed to be within 100 miles of the border, not by Minneapolis or whatever. So, yeah. Tim Walz a knucklehead. Yeah. He's a dumbass, but he must got threatened with lawsuits or whatever. But okay.
Okay.
You good, Tyrone? What's going on?
It's oh god. Oh, it's cold.
Sir.
It's fucking 35 degrees out, man.
Oh. K-Cup for 2. Wait, so Rubio and Trump play hide and seek? No, just like Rubio puts a blanket over his head so he pretends to be awake, but he's actually asleep. Because Trump literally doesn't sleep. He gets like 2 hours of sleep at night, I think. So
He's just like me.
what?
He's just like me.
Oh jeez. All right. So, let's see. Oh, how's the rain, Tyrone? People are asking about the rain.
It's not raining right now.
It sounds like it.
No, that's just ice thawing off the
Oh, okay.
this HEB pump.
All right. Hydro Adam for 5. Minneapolis native here. I think part of the reason Walz backed down is he's afraid of them burning the city down again if this things continue to escalate. That's part. Well, maybe a little bit. I still think he's covering his own ass. I think he must have realized he got caught. That's what I think happened here with the signal gate stuff. They got caught in the lie. It would have been like Trump. What also might have been the final like nail in the coffin was what happened to that shit, was like a prisons officer or whatever a couple nights ago. It was like Bureau of Prisons or something. It was like agent for them.
The Federal Bureau of Prisons?
Or so, yeah, because they had an agent go to that hotel. Like they had one agent standing his ground against those rioters. And like he was bleeding and shit. Because like they threw shit at him and the police did nothing. So that might have been also that they started to attack like actual federal agents. So all right, Jacob Martin for 2. It's definitely real. Rent is continuing to go down. Yeah, rent's going down very slowly, but it is. It is going down. That's a good thing. All right. Let's see. Never forget, Walz was how many thousand votes away from becoming the VP? Yeah, that's a good point. Can you imagine if Walz is VP right now? With Harris as president. Meanwhile, Rand Paul and Thomas Massie, they would have supported that. They would have loved it because they could have been the opposition forever. They would have loved that job. All right. I think Trump is the most energetic president in a long time. Yeah, he just never sleeps. He literally just never sleeps at all. And we do got breaking news. President Trump has confirmed that Kristi Noem will not be stepping down as DHS secretary. Wow. What a shocking turn of events. Listen, I think Noem should go after the debacle in Minneapolis where they fucked up the narrative and stuff, but is there a single person halfway decent that could get the votes in the Senate right now? Like, honestly, I there's no way Homan or Miller gets it. Definitely not Miller. There's nobody right now that can get the votes in for Secretary of Homeland Security. Just no, not gonna happen. Yeah, so Trump is saying like he supports Kristi Noem still. Good. Eli for 27. Trump was on 325 milligrams of aspirin daily despite his doctor. Yeah. Mike Fit for 2. Voting Democrat if Trump doesn't deport 200 million people. That's real. That's the thing growing to the right. It's like, oh, guys, we've only deported a couple million people. It's not enough. Like, yeah, no shit. Does that mean you should regret your vote? Like, that's stupid. Like, they're just retarded. I don't get how Trump doesn't sleep at 25 and barely have enough energy. The man is workaholic. Well, I mean, he's ran a business his entire life. But still, like, he only gets like 3 hours of sleep, which is just nuts. I don't get it either, though. Honestly, I can understand like you sleep like instead of like 8 hours, you sleep like 5 or 6, but not 3 hours a night at most, and then once in a while maybe 4, and you're like 80 or whatever. Like that's just insane. So, what about DeSantis or Ramirez or DHS? Maybe, maybe DeSantis, but how much more could Congress do if Republicans had 225 in the House and 55 in the Senate? Oh my gosh, they would have done stuff by now. They would have got through more reconciliation bills, for example. But American Nerd for 2. Trump stays awake through the power of Diet Coke. That is real. 2 to 3 million over a full term can be most or a big chunk of the people here illegally. Well, yeah, I mean, again, these are current estimates. Could be off by a little bit, maybe. But let's just say it's right now 1.5 million. And that was before the big beautiful bill really took into effect. Before we have a bunch of ICE agents being trained up, before all of that, which again, Tyrone knows more about this stuff because duh. But like we're gonna see more deportations. It's gonna ramp up. It's not gonna just go magically down. Like that's not gonna happen. So we'll see. People are losing face 2 weeks into the admin because we did deport all the migrants. I remember that. I remember it's like within a day, Trump didn't deport 200 million people. I remember that. He deported only a couple thousand. Like, yeah, no shit. So there's so many more illegals than the numbers suggest. And we again, we don't even know how many people actually self-deported. We don't know. The census numbers are just estimates. Those are just estimates we got. God knows how many people actually left by now. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, even the census wrong a little bit. There's a bunch of people that just magically disappeared. These work sites are completely empty. These apartments have suddenly cleared out. Yeah. So let's see here. It only goes down in 2029 if we lose. Yeah. Also worth 15 million or 30 million let in. Under Biden, I think isn't the official number. I think it's 15 million. I think I could be wrong, but Marcus Holiday for 5. Opinion on how the economy will look in the future. Trump is starting to get a big bounce in the economy. It looks like it's starting to boom. Not fully, but people are starting to be more confident on it. There's a poll that came out, I think in the New York Times, actually. Let me pull this up. New York Times. I could be wrong, but I think they had an affordability poll. Tristan for 2. Tyrone, what's your Whataburger order?
I got the chicken fajita taco with large fries and a large half and half sweet and unsweet tea. I stuck that shit in the calorie counter. 12,000 calories, just about. I am not getting fries from Whataburger ever again. That is almost 600 calories by themselves.
Oof.
Way too much fucking sodium. The chicken fajita taco wasn't that bad. For 360 calories, that's 29 grams of protein. That's not bad at all. But that was also like a fucking $8 thing for that when I could have gotten a meal from HEB that was like comparably priced. So
Yeah, I gotta find the affordability poll. So, uh, 12,000 calories. I don't think he said 12,000.
1,200, my bad.
Yeah, it's just like, wait, shit, 12,000? Jesus. Uh,
I'm getting diabetes.
oh boy. Um,
I
Whataburger
love it when
onion.
the gas pump physically freezes.
I'll eat a fucking mushroom Swiss burger like a fat ass slut every second. Yeah. All right. All right. So I pull up the New York Times poll here in a second because I do think we are starting to see the economy rebound a little bit. Again, not fully. We're not seeing an economic boom yet, but people are beginning to say they trust Trump more in the economy. Morning Consult even admitted that Trump, like Republicans, are tied on the economy with Democrats. Guys, if Republicans win the issue of the economy, do you really think there's going to be a blue wave this year?
There is no such thing as a blue wave.
What do you mean by that?
Doesn't it happen? Doesn't exist.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it happened like
Not real.
2018.
Not real. TV said so.
Oh gosh, but no, seriously, like,
There's not gonna be a fucking blue wave this
yeah,
year.
I'm getting kind of sick of this shit.
We won that special election. There go. We're gonna have an R+3 electorate. We won. Trump saved our democracy.
Yeah, I gotta find the affordability poll because I just want to prove my point that like people are beginning to trust Republican, like they're beginning to feel more confident on the economy, at least on affordability. Not perfect, but I gotta find it. Yeah, right here. So this is a real poll from New York Times. They have it like -20 for Trump, by the way. So it's not like some far right freaking Rasmussen poll or something. Which again, nothing against Rasmussen.
Listen reports.
Like nothing against Rasmussen. Like Mark Mitchell's a good guy and stuff, but like yeah, I'll shit on like Barris and stuff, but not Mark Mitchell. Mark Mitchell's a good guy. But all right, so this is an official poll from the New York Times, and notice anything? Look at this. In the orange, that is unaffordable. That means that people said unaffordable. Right now, only 26% of people said food is unaffordable right now. Utilities, 23%. Transportation, 22%. Groceries, 28%. Having a family, 44%. Healthcare, 47%. The only ones that a majority of people said they cannot afford right now is housing and education. That's it. So right now, what's happening is like they're not saying they can mostly afford it. They're saying like, hey, it's the cost for food has gone down. I can actually somewhat afford it. It's not like I'm gonna go bankrupt buying food or whatever, or buy a new car. What's happening right now is people are beginning to afford stuff a bit more. And now that doesn't mean they think everything's perfect. They're just saying, okay, things are slowly getting better. We are seeing improvements. Objectively speaking, inflation's going down. Just the only things right now holding Trump back is housing. That's the only thing like really holding Trump back. Because education, who gives a shit? Like that, unless he completely reformed the student loan stuff, that ship has sailed. Like you're not going to change that. But yeah, I do think right now we are starting to see positive movement on this front. We just got to get these people in light green, the people that say it's somewhat affordable. We got to make them say it's mostly affordable, that they can actually live. It's the cost of living's not crazy anymore. That's what we need. That's the thing holding Trump back right now. People are they're hesitant, but they're starting to get happier. They still don't like what's going on, but yeah. Take up for 5. Things are slowly turning a corner. Just remember, it's easier to break things and fix. Remember how good 2019 was? Biden fucked it up in 2 weeks. Yeah. The 2019 economy was like, we got to get back there. Like, I don't think we can we get there in 4 years under Trump? I don't know. Because that was objectively one of the best economies we ever had. But
we're never going back to the first admin's economy. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
We're never going to have as low of interest rates. And decreasing interest rates further is only going to increase the amount of wealth that the boomers take from other generations because it directly benefits them. High interest rates actually benefit the younger generations right now.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, I still think we got to cut them, but I understand what you're saying. Like, I get that. But there's got to be something with housing. And the Trump's been making progress on that front. That's a good thing. But I still think he should use the what's the act he used in 2020 with COVID to make the ventilators? It's like the War Times Act or whatever.
Yeah, the Emergency Powers
Yeah,
and the
yeah, yeah.
Wartime Powers Act.
I've argued use that but for housing. Think about it. Like use it for like housing. Like you buy up all the housing stuff and like make it cheaper that way. Why not? I'm not saying like you have to build a million houses, but just like help with like the prefab stuff a little bit. So yeah, I do think there's ways to fix it. I think we are getting better. We just got you got to give these people be able to afford a house. Yeah, the Defense Production Act. Thank you. Yeah, it's still the Production Act or whatever. Again, you can theoretically use it for housing. You can. You can use it for a lot of shit. So
Three quarter pounders.
yeah, and also remember, people are gonna start getting their tax returns the next couple of weeks, and there's gonna be some
Thanks
unlike
for reminding me. I need to go do my taxes
yeah,
when I get home.
unlike
Actually, you
Biden,
know what? You know what? Actually, I think I could fucking file them online.
maybe.
Well, no, fuck, because I have gold I need to. Ugh. I have gold I need to report to the IRS. Great.
Yeah. Object Class Creator for 2. What's chance the big beautiful bill 2 will pass? I I, I think right now Trump is going to I don't know if he can pass another one. That took a lot of political capital to pass the first one. But what would be the second big beautiful bill? I wonder. Are you talking about the Make America Affordable again? Is that the one? I'm pretty because the Republicans are pushing for that one. I know, whatever it's called, what we talked about, which is freaking amazing. But tr- let's see. Yeah, Trump just needs to get his whole corporation limits on housing set in law. Well, problem is, do you think Republicans gonna pass that shit in the House and stuff? You know damn well Thomas Massey, Rand Paul, they're gonna block that shit. They're gonna block it so corporations can buy houses and stuff. Can't they use one?
Remember,
Oh,
remember, kids, all libertarians are bought out by corporations.
yeah. And I've looked at this. Look, go. You want to see one of Thomas Massey's biggest donors? Go look it up. I think it's Toyota. Funny enough, which it's just actually kind of funny. It's like Toyota or something. But can't they use one reconciliation bill a year? I think it's two. I could be wrong, but there are ways around that. There are ways, like there are loopholes you can use. The Republicans have not used yet. Yeah, it's Make America Affordable. It's something. Yeah, I made a whole video on that. It's a phenomenal proposal. 10 out of 10. Got to ram it through, but Rand Paul's gonna block it. Just like now, you see, trying to cut ICE funding. You hear about that? Let me pull this up. This is the principled conservatives we're dealing with here. Let me pull this up here. Rand Paul. There we go. So this is who we're dealing with, everybody. Rand Paul, yesterday or a couple days ago, he said, oh shit, I gotta,
Breaking news!
what?
Greg Abbott has frozen all H-1B visa applications to state agencies and universities.
Well, hold on, we just lost the Discord it crashed. Ah, shit. Chat, sorry about that. Discord just crashed. um, but Tyrone. Okay, sorry about that. Tyrone, we lost you. Hold on. Yeah, I just lost Tyrone. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Big win. Uh, yeah, is everybody Can anybody hear me right now? I have no clue what just happened. Right when he had some big news drop. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, like, Discord crashed. I can't. Jacob Martin for 5. How is it as improving in the Florida area? Even condos nationwide are getting cheaper. HOAs do need improving, but positive signs for the youth buy is real. That's true. Yeah, I have no clue what's going on right now. Hold up. Let me look what Abbott did. Okay, Tyrone, can you hear me now? Hold on. That was freaking strange. We're still live, by the way. Okay, we're good. Tyrone, say something.
Hello.
Okay, sorry about that. Like, literally, I'm not even joking. It just crashed.
Abbott has frozen all H-1B applications and he basically just froze all immigration fucking visa applications for state agencies in Texas and
Holy
universities.
shit.
Yeah, Abbott is reversing fucking course on India now.
A glitch EV for 2. They censored Tyrone. That's real. Chance Razik for 5. I'm getting so sick of people who say that Paul and Massey are somehow more basic Trump. It's bullshit. They suck at immigration, always have. And we'll get to Rand Paul stuff in a second because I got the tweet pulled up. But yeah, I got pulled up right here. Greg Abbott halts the use of H-1Bs at state agencies and universities. And apparently, he said Texas is the strongest economic engine in the world or in America. We're going to keep it that way. If Greg Abbott's flipping on H-1Bs now, I'm telling you guys, the backlash against that stuff's getting big. People are getting sick of that shit. People are getting sick of this shit where they can just import somebody from God knows where. They don't know what they're doing. It's a scam. People got to look at what they do in India. I'm not even joking. Like, they have giant, like, fake universities and stuff where they get fake degrees, and it's just horrific what's going on. They're taking away jobs from America.
They literally have body shops.
Yeah.
They're called body shops.
Yeah, that's what they're called. Thank you. I was trying to think of the name of them. It's really a giant scam. And they import their buddies and family here, and it's endless cycle of shit, and they never leave. That's not the point of H-1Bs. The point of H-1Bs is a temporary stay until they build a workforce. That's the whole idea of it. Not, oh, he can go to India half the year or whatever and come to America like once a month. Like, that's bullshit. President Gilbert Giddy up for 5. Breaking news. Let's get the good news out about H-1B visas from India. India, we have other plans. Silence the past trans black man. Free Tyrone trans flag. Chance Razik for 2. Greg Abbott redemption arc. Let's freaking go. Yeah, this is phenomenal news. Good. Eli for 27. W, my lord. King Hot Wheels. First of the name. Hail. Oh, gosh. K-Cub for 2. Abbott stood up for America. Yeah, he stood up for America.
Greg Abbott is standing up for Texans.
This is actually just really good. Like, I'm not even joking. This is phenomenal news.
By the way, this should also shortly happen as well in Florida. And once that happens, that's going to happen all across red states.
Yep. I think what's going to happen, because you're talking about Texas, if this is the biggest Republican state. So this is a phenomenal thing that's happening. We're going after H-1Bs. Finally, Republicans are getting off their ass on this issue and realizing nobody wants this shit. And the people you're importing, they fucking hate you. They're not going to support you, you dumb shits. Financially, maybe, but they don't actually give a shit. Just great. But yeah, here's a Rand Paul tweet, everybody. The one that caused the thing to crash. There we go. This is a real tweet from Rand Paul. Here's what he said.
Crap, you there?
Hello?
Oh my god, did it fucking crash again?
Tyrone. Sir. It just crashed. Yeah. Great. Tyrone crashed Discord again. Great. All right, so we're just gonna go without Tyrone. It's over. We lost him. They got Tyrone. What is wrong with Discord? I have no clue. I've never had this problem before. Object class character for 2. Governor fire Hot Wheels on fire for being based. That's real. Yeah, we're gonna be without Tyrone the rest of the stream. I literally can't do anything. But okay. We're just gonna let that go, I guess. So breaking, this is what Rand Paul said. The Senate is debating another $10 billion for ICE, but Congress already locked in nearly $19 billion a year for 4 years. Even if this fails, ICE will still have about 87% more funding than last year. Yeah, this is a real thing by Rand Paul. He is basically saying, we're going to cut funding for ICE. Okay. Hold on. So, Tyrone, can you hear me? That was fucking weird. Okay. Say something now.
Something now.
Oh, gosh. Right, guys, been a member for 4 months. Also, go Hawks. Fuck the Patriots. Listen.
So true.
I hate
Fuck the Patriots.
Listen, I'm rooting for nobody, if I'm being honest, but yeah, so Rand Paul is saying that it's not a big deal that ICE funding has been cut by $10 billion. You're telling me he had all this time under Biden to cut funding for certain government agencies, and he never once proposed shit. But the one time Republicans take control, now he's talking about cutting ICE funding. They wanted to fund ICE now. Rand Paul, freaking Thomas Massey. Oh my gosh. ICE will still have about 87% of its funding. Are you shitting me right now?
Crap.
Yeah?
Okay, I can still hear you. All right, that was just a bad connection on my end.
Yeah. So Rand Paul is saying like we don't need 10 billion for ICE, basically. Why do we still have libertarians in this party? Why?
Because they're losers. Big, beautiful losers. Democrats love to prop up as opposition.
Glitch Eevee for 2. He was too base. India censored him. That's real. Glitched Eevee for 2. Tyrone defeated India. Yeah. If Republicans cut ICE funding, Trump needs to veto the bill. Listen, if they cut ICE funding, they're going to get crushed this year. Dumb shits like Rand Paul. Same with like Dave Smith. You see what Dave Smith is saying? Oh, I want mass deportations, but no, we don't need ICE to do it. It's too mean. I'm not even joking. He literally said that. He wants, that's who these people are. They want, except Rand Paul wants amnesty, though. These other people, they claim to be like immigration restrictionists. They say, we got to ban immigration, got to deport everybody. But no, we don't need, we got to defund ICE because they're mean. It's like, how do you expect to deport people then? How? If you don't got ICE or an agency doing it, how do you expect to deport people? Seriously. This whole shit's a stupid. All right. Who's Dave Smith? He's a quote unquote comedian who's not funny. You know that he's a comedian that's like shit at jokes, and he's somebody
comedian, like inside, not very comedic. Many such cases.
Yeah, and he's awful. He's like a libertarian, and he says, "Oh, we're not getting mass deportations, but also we need to stop ICE." That's who we're dealing with here. He's even using lefty tactic of telling half truths by saying last year, but leaving out the pre-big beautiful bill. Yeah, he's just saying, well, we don't need it now. Guys, it's bullshit what people like Rand Paul are trying to do here. It's horseshit, and he knows it. But he doesn't give a shit. He does not care. All right. Oh, another report. According to the New York Times, U.S. population growth slows sharply as immigration numbers plunge. Oh, another metric proving there's a lot of people leaving. Guys, I'm sure only 100,000 people left that's causing this. I'm sure of it. So you're telling me the Hispanic birth rate went down like 10% overnight. You're telling me all these people magically vanished. The population as a whole is just magically shrinking now. You're telling me that there's only like 5 people that left? It's horseshit. We're getting deportations. We want more, obviously. The shit people are pushing is just ridiculous. There's no Tyrone. There's no deportations going on. The people you're deporting are fake.
Yeah, I guess these people are just not real.
Yeah, they're all Mossad. Bobob for 5. Rap, what's the house race we need to really make sure wins? That's a tricky one. Like maybe like Michael Lawler type. I'm not the biggest fan of Lawler, but if he wins, I think we're fine. If he loses, we're in a lot of trouble because he should be able to hold on. But I think Michael Lawler is kind of a must win. If he wins, we should have not a great night, but yeah. But also, you got people like Scott Perry, for example. If he wins, I think we're gonna have a good night as well. I mean, Scott Perry should be in trouble, but if he wins, we should be fine. So I would say Scott Perry's seat and Michael Lawler's. Object Clay's cater for 10. People like Rand Paul like being in the opposition so he can complain all he wants, knowing he'll do nothing. But when he's in the majority, he tanks the agenda to get small wins since it is on everything. Well, yeah, that's all they care about. They care about these bullshit principles, and the issue with these people is they either get 100% of what they want or you get nothing. So if you disagree on 1% of things, nope, gotta oppose the entire agenda. I think I misunderstood the question. If you're talking about like getting rid of shit Republicans, you want Brandon Herrera to win, then if you're meaning that. But if you're talking about like the competitive seats, yeah, I'm gonna say like Michael Lawler or Scott Perry. So, and I think Brandon Herrera is gonna win. It's gonna be great. Even though Trump's the dumb shit for endorsing Gonzalez, but anyways, I do understand the point though. So, random Polish guy for 5. It's also reported that white population grew 0.25% first time it grew since 1952. Do with that infill that you want. Wait, really? I gotta look that up. White population. Let me see. We'll see. I don't know if that's real. I'll try to find it. I hope Brandon Herrera wins. I think you win. I think he shall win. Oh boy. American Nerd for 2. Rap, did you see Rep's video on California governor last night? No, I didn't, but I can say I do got a video planned for California's governorship probably today.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
I'm late.
Yeah,
I'm
a little late. A little bit late.
It's fine.
So we talked a lot about Minneapolis. We're talking just random stuff, just reading super chats. But yeah, California governorship. I'm gonna laugh if we get 2 Republicans. It might happen now.
I'm not. I have no hope.
There's a
I
chance.
have to get
There
back
is a
to
chance
work.
that the Democrats will drop out. One of them will drop out though, because they will. Turn left way. They will kind of coalesce behind one candidate.
I know, but just like there's still a chance. Damn it, there's a chance.
We need to get like a few more Democrats to pop in. Ideally, like we need 1 or 2 more Democrats to jump in and fuck up the race more.
All right,
but yeah.
Sorry for that. We talked about Minneapolis. We kind of went over that already, but we do got some very disturbing news out of Virginia, Arlington County, Virginia. The board chairman has told residents to call 911 if they see ICE in their community. Yeah, look at this shit. So he's telling people this dumb shit in Nova, by the way. That's who these people are. It's all the white liberals in Nova. They're all saying that if you see ICE anywhere, even if they're basically saying if it looks like ICE, Not that it's for sure ICE. If you see someone suspected of being ICE, call 911. What does this sound like? Seriously, you're washing out your window looking for a black SUV. Oh, automatically ICE or some shit.
Do not drive like black SUVs into liberal areas.
Don't drive in general liberal areas at this point. This is insane. There's people just like looking outside their window 24/7. They see one car that's like 1 mile below the speed limit. They call 911. This is nuts. President Gilbert getting up for 2, later Texan politics. Real. Random Polish guy for 5. If that happens, does that ruin the new California map? Well, there's a lawsuit going on with California's map. We'll see how that goes. But no, that wouldn't really change anything. So. Jay Jones is going to prosecute people for defending themselves from criminals and illegals. Yeah, good luck, Virginia. You voted for that shit. You voted for that.
I do wonder if this is going to move the state to the right.
No, these people, the people know we're batshit crazy. They want this stuff. That's a scary thing. They want this. That's a problem. Not good. Not good at all. It sounds actually like the Jim Crow South. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but it's just insane. Oh, you see one suspicious car. It's freaking, it's ICE. You gotta call the cops on them. The cops are already undermanned, and you're gonna waste their time with this shit. And I guarantee you, if they had this set up, like, oh my gosh, they're gonna immediately say, have all the cops in the area go to this ICE agent. People getting stabbed and stuff, but no, gotta go stop the ICE agent. It's insane. All right. The Rust Belt's the future. Yeah, kind of. All right, we got some breaking news out of Minnesota now. Fox News has learned that Patrick J. Schultz, I think you say his name, the Minnesota federal judge who's threatening to hold ICE Director Todd Loynes in contempt of court and ordered him to appear in court on Friday, appears in a 2019 list of donors and volunteers for the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota, an organization that provides free legal advice and representation for illegal immigrants. Holy shit. Hey, real Texan.
Yeah, what's up? Look at this flop art here, bro.
I saw that. I'm not going to post that on stream. But yeah, so according to this report from Fox News, that judge in Minnesota tried to hold the guy in contempt of court. Turns out he is openly part of these organizations wanting to provide illegal immigrants representation and free legal advice. How is this not a conflict of interest? How? Of course, yeah, of course, the freaking Bush judge too. So yeah, just casually, this judge, totally not a conflict of interest. Totally. Anytime anything happens, he rules against the ICE for no reason. This is batshit crazy. These judges gotta be held accountable, but I think it's too late. They're not gonna hold any of these judges accountable, which is insane. I know you really can't, but there's ways around it. You can defund courts. You can change shit around. There's ways to do it. But nope. Not gonna do anything about it. Because Rand Paul and Ted Cruz are dumb shits. Not good. Chance Razik for 5. Paul and Massey don't know when to shut up. That's their problem. They kept their mouths shut half the time. Trump and base wouldn't hate them so much. Yeah, nobody would give a shit. But no, they can't help themselves. They cannot help the fact that libertarians. So. As a Virginia voter, I'm hearing a lot of voters regret voting for the Democrats after the bills proposed were released. I don't know if it was enough to affect 27 and stop it, but still. I mean, I think there's some regret from some voters, but it's not going to be enough. I'm sorry, that state's going to shit. The Commonwealth of Virginia, it's a beautiful Commonwealth. It's going to shit. Sucks, but it's true. All right. Rotato chip for 5. Say what you will about Osman, but he is right that old white leftists in power are the enemy of the people. Yeah. He's 100% right. It's boomer leftists. They're the problem here. They're all freaking dumb shits. They're all corrupt. They're all insane. They're all leftists. It's like not a good combination. And they run everything. All right. Watch Sean Doyle's video and not being a libertarian. I did not see that. No, I have not seen that video yet. I'll watch it though. 2025 was just a bad year for Republicans in the state. Yeah, but I'm sorry. The voters in Nova want this shit. That's what we're trying to tell people. These people are nuts. They literally want this. I don't know how it's going to change Virginia. Like, seriously, how many voters in Nova, like Fairfax County, do you really think any amount of voters are opposed to this crap when Virginia? Honestly. But let's cut the crap. Is there a single like voter that's like regretting their vote right now? I don't think so. Maybe voters that didn't vote, they're regretting not voting, but the actual people that voted for Spanberger, yeah, no. Not good. All right. Oh, we got another shooting, everybody. Oh, shit. Well, we got some breaking news out of Phoenix, Arizona, or excuse me, Pima County, Arizona. It sounds like a shooting incident occurred with Border Patrol. Oh my God. Yep, right here. Officials confirmed the shooting involved a Border Patrol officer. They found one individual in custody and in critical condition. Immediate medical care was provided before the patient was transferred to a local medical hospital. Border Patrol officers are on the scene. Wow. There was another shooting revolving around Border Patrol. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
At a certain point, I mean, there's a lot to say, but at a certain point, you're going to have to. I don't know how to articulate this. You're going to have to find a way to separate the protesters from even coming close to ICE agents and making sure that no one knows when the next ICE race will be.
Now be clear, we don't know anything. We don't know what happened. We don't know what information's here.
Like,
but
that's you have to separate the the you have to find a way to separate these protesters and rioters and ICE agents and border patrol. They cannot.
We don't.
They can. There needs to be a wall between them. And why am I saying this? Because otherwise, you'll have incidents like this, and this is going to drive down the popularity of Trump's immigration policies. And
well, we don't even know. The thing is, we don't even know. For all we know, the nutcase had a knife, or we don't know. It's so vague.
We don't know. I know. I am aware of this. What I am saying is, we've got to at a certain point just physical. These protesters cannot be allowed to come even near ICE agents. Yeah. Otherwise, they're going to have they're going to just kamikaze themselves effectively.
Yeah, there might be. It's. Hold on. I'm listening right now. Hold on. Nobody knows for sure, but there are reports circulating. This was a couple hours ago. There might have been a shootout. Okay, we don't know anything. For all we know, this is just a schizophrenic. Who knows? But yeah, this is not good. I mean, this is a scary thing. You're gonna see more. Sadly, you're gonna see more of this shit happen because these nutcases, they're being told to go do it. Oh, don't stand up to ICE agents of Border Patrol. That's not good. I'm hoping that we'll see. We don't know full details yet, but man, there needs to be more context. Oh, I agree. We don't know. It's so close to the border. For all we know, it's a cartel member, so we don't know. But we're getting very limited information. Democrats will support the victim no matter what. Oh yeah, they're gonna. This guy could have a gun on him and try to shoot the agents, but they would support him. Yeah, I'm just worried about how this is gonna go. But okay, K Cub for 5. My dad is a former law enforcement. One thing he told me is as authority, you have authority to go on stage up, one stage up. So if you have a knife, if they have a knife, you have a gun. Well, yeah. Richard Head for 2. Arizona's attorney general recently suggested you could pew pew ice. I saw that. Yeah, that nutcase was saying, no, we have stand your ground laws in Arizona. And oh, by the way, there's a lot of ice agents running around. I wonder what they implied by that. Not good. All right. So I think that's kind of it, though, everybody. There's really not much more going on. We'll see how this is going with the Arizona story, but yeah. If anyone got any more super chats, any more questions, concerns, whatever, send them now. Last calls for super chats. Last calls for super chats. So this will be interesting. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens with the Arizona shooting now. Federal Border Patrol. It's not good. All right. I think that's it. We'll see you guys in the next stream, video, or wherever you see us.